It's 4:14. It's 4:14. It is. According, maybe that's backwards, but you know what? It's 4:14. You like my light? It's been that way a long time. And we're going to start story time. Story time right now. I'm going to get my friend, all right? Yep. I'm going to get my friend and bring him to story time. All right. Where is he? Where is my friend? Where is my friend? Whoa! There he is. Hey, Max. It's time for story. You're cold. You're really cold. But it's time for story time. Let's go. All right. Yep. Yep, I got my friend Max, and we're going to go read 2 short stories together. Yeah, let me go outside here. My camera holder is, like, busy doing something, so I don't have her. But listen, I brought some friends. You know, I brought Max, right? Well, let's see. I've also brought all my other friends, right? And there's my, I don't know if you really could see them, but that's my favorite, the Triceratops. It's my favorite dinosaur in the world. There's a long story, maybe I'll tell it to you one day. And I also got my other friends over here. Of course, they are in the bird bath, the water bath thing, because they're fish. And maybe the orca is a mammal. I meant to check before we started this, but I just couldn't. I just didn't. So, getting the phone set up. Oh, and these 2 guys here are also my friends I brought with me. So, all right, let's start story time. They're going to sit on the ground there. You always need a great hat for story time. This is like my favorite hat. I think it has something to do with color. So, this story is called Cornelius, okay? And Leonani. Always say words like you know how to pronounce them. People won't question you. Leonani. Sounds good, right? So Cornelius is the first story. I don't know if you can really see the pictures here, but there we go. When the eggs hatched, the little crocodiles crawled out onto the river beach. But Cornelius walked upright. As he grew taller and stronger, he rarely came down on all fours. He saw things no other crocodile had ever seen before. I can see far beyond the bushes, he said. But the others said, "What's so good about that?" "I can see the fish from above," Cornelius said. "So what?" said the other crocodiles, annoyed. And so one day, Cornelius angrily decided to walk away. It was not long before Cornelius met a monkey. Oh boy. "And I can walk upright," Cornelius said to the monkey proudly, "and I can see things far, far away." "I can stand on my head," said the monkey, "and hang from my tail." Cornelius was amazed. "Could I learn to do that?" he asked. "Of course," replied the monkey. "All you need is a lot of hard work and a little help." Cornelius worked hard at learning the monkey's tricks, and the monkey seemed happy to help him. When he had finally learned to stand on his head and hang from his tail, Cornelius walked proudly back to the river beach. "Look," he said, "I can stand on my head." "So what?" was all the other crocodiles said. And I can hang from my tail, said Cornelius. But the others just frowned and repeated, "So what?" Disappointed and angry, Cornelius decided to go back to the monkey. But just as he had turned around, he looked back behind him at the other crocodiles. And what did he see? There the others were, falling all over themselves, trying to stand on their heads and hang from their tails. Cornelius smiled. Life on the river beach would never be the same again. The end. Now we're going to read another book story, short as well, called Swimmy. All right. I'm not within my social distance, but we're on a phone, so it's cool. So, there was a happy school of little fish lived in a corner of the sea somewhere. They were all red. Only one of them was black as a mussel shell. He swam faster than his brothers and sisters. His name was Swimmy. One day, one bad day, a tuna fish, swift, fierce, and very hungry, came darting through the waves. In one gulp, he swallowed all the little red fish. Only Swimmy escaped. He swam away in the deep, wet world. He was scared, lonely, and very sad. But the sea was full of wonderful creatures, and as he swam from marvel to marvel, Swimmy was happy again. He saw a Medusa made of rainbow jelly, a lobster who walked about like a water-moving machine, strange fish pulled by an invisible thread, a forest of seaweeds growing from sugar candy rocks, an eel whose tail was almost too far away I lost my place. Too far away to remember, and sea anemones who looked like pink palm trees swaying in the wind. Then, hidden in the dark shade of rocks and weeds, he saw a school of little fish, just like his old friends. "Let's go and swim and play and see things," he said happily. We can't, said the little red fish. The big fish will eat us all." "But you can't just lie there," said Swimmy. "We must think of something." Swimmy thought, and then suddenly he said, "I have it. We're all going to swim together like the biggest fish in the sea." Wow. Can you see that? What did they do? Wow. That is so freaking cool. He taught them to swim close together, each in his own place. And when they had learned to swim like one giant fish, he said, "I'll be the eye." And so they swam in the cool morning water and in the midday sun and chased the big fish away. So, true story, one time I was snorkeling in the coral reefs, and I saw this giant shadow of a blue fish far away from where we were snorkeling. And I had my wife with me, and I said, Margaret, let's go see what that big fish is. Not thinking that it could be dangerous. I was just so fascinated with it. It was huge, and it was up towards the cliff that we were in the coral reef. This is a true story. And I was like, just let's go. And then we snorkeled over to the fish, and it was all these blue tang fish that were like this big. But it looked like one giant fish. And I mean, afterwards I was like, why would anybody swim near a fish that's bigger than them? Like, why? But I was just so fascinated with the moment that I did that. Hey, thanks for joining. It looks like there's a lot of you here. I love you all so much. I miss you all. This is my social anxiety. Like, I am like freaking, I like people. I do. And I love to tell stories. So thanks for listening and watching. I'm going to try and do one like every 2 days or so. I don't want you to get inundated with too much stuff. Some of the stories I read are sad sometimes, so I'll apologize about that in advance. All right, have an awesome day. Social distancing. This is about as close as you can get. Keep yourself safe. Wash your hands a lot. Take care of the elderly. Make sure that they are really taken care of. And love you. God bless.